What's up, guys? Just want to make this quick pre video pre advertisement show. Like always, Smart Up is our sponsor today, and you can see their ad here. Thank you, Smart Up, for sponsoring this video. Much appreciated to you guys. As always, links in the description box down below. Please check them out. They do support the show, but don't worry, no added cost to you guys. They are a soap company. Shocker. And they basically help guys like me who are both martial artists and lifters to basically keep clean. Obviously, if you're a martial artist, you don't know who has what. You're sweating everywhere. Same thing with lifting too. You don't know who, like, which sweaty person touched what, and yeah, it keeps you safe. It keeps you clean, and it keeps you safe from ringworm and like other stuff that could actually be, number one, contagious. Number two, be very harmful for you and other people. So just stay safe. And like I said, it's a great soap company. I actually personally use this, so I can actually tell from experience that, hey, this is something that you should definitely check out. But as always, thank you for listening, and here is your podcast. What's up, YouTube? It's your boys again, coming back to another video on this channel. As always, I am the Rhino.
I am the Bat.
Today we got a special guest. We got Maria, who is not only my big sister at my gym, she's also does a lot of financing for houses and stuff. So Maria, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Of course. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we can't give you a special gift anymore, so we apologize for that. But yeah, as I mentioned before, Maria does all the. So if you're ever wondering, or if you're planning to buy a house, condo, whatever it is, or you're planning to refinance, we're going to talk about how to do all that stuff on the show. So I guess we'll start with the first question. How do you finance and do everything, or basically finance a house?
Okay, so again, my name is Maria Contreras Mata. My NMLS 455272. I am currently working with a broker company, LA Financial Services Inc., doing business as lending assets. I've been in the business for 25 years plus, as far as the mortgage financing business is concerned. I worked for about 20 years with the retail world of financing, which was with Bank of America and Wells Fargo mortgage departments. And the last 5 years, basically, I took a little bit of time off, and then the last 3.5 years, I went into the wholesale world, basically. And it's actually a great, it's one of those, why didn't I do this sooner? But it's taught me a lot on the wholesale side, and definitely the best way. Brokers are better in the sense where the problems that the retail banks are having right now, we don't have that on the wholesale world. Meaning, for example, purchases, we can close on time, 30 days or less. My average closing is 17 days. The refinances, there's still some lenders that I work with that are 30 days or less. Retail banks are taking 4 to 6 months. Even if it's your own bank, it takes that long. And then because of the COVID, a lot of the banks, the big banks, retail banks, have actually stopped taking loan applications on the purchase and the refinance side. or they have increased their interest rates to kind of slow down the production, basically. But anyways, just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of background on that. What to do in order to like buy a house or even refinance a home. So in most cases, I know some people will hear about like 100% financing. There's different programs out there. And depending on whether you qualify or not, and whether the county, the city, or the state that you live in offers what they call down payment assistance programs, you do need to qualify based on credit score and income and the area that you're going to be purchasing. Most of these down payment assistance programs are only used for what they call primary owner occupied properties, which are the homes that you would be living in. So no investment homes or no second homes. So the 100% financing, the way it happens is that the city, county, or state, based on programs available, will give you the amount for a down payment and closing costs. So they work, or we work with the main lender, and we work with the down payment assistance program department, and we can put everything together for you.
Mm-hmm.
In many cases, one does not qualify, especially, like I said, income. And in certain areas, the Bay Area, the Silicon Valley, of course. It's one of those counties, one of those areas where they do have them, but the it might not necessarily be the income. It would have to be the purchase price. And so there's a lot of little nuances there that, you know, one-on-one, I could definitely find out whether the person or, you know, the new home buyer would qualify for that or not. The minimum, I know you've probably, or a lot of people have probably heard of what they call the FHA program. First time.
What's that?
So that's a government insured type of program where you can do as little as 3.5% down payment.
Okay.
So, which means, for example, just talking numbers, just to know, $100,000 home, 3.5% is $3,500. So 200 is 7,000. You know, 300,000. Again, it's 3.5% down payment.
Right.
You will need to have your closing costs as far as it's concerned. Now, again, that is for primary owner occupied properties. That is a really good program when you have somewhat of a low credit score. So if you have a 640 credit score, you would still qualify for something like that. You know, and you still get a really good interest rate. However, because there's so little down payment and it's government insured, the government, they have a what they call a private mortgage insurance. Mm-hmm. So it's a second financial insurance that you have to pay in order to kind of, you're ensuring that you won't let go of the property. You won't foreclose on the property in the first, 3 to 5 years. So it's kind of an insurance for the bank and not necessarily for you, the homeowner, unfortunately. But so the best thing to do when you're looking to buy a house is obviously check your assets, see how much of a down payment you're looking at, credit score, make sure that you haven't, overextended yourself, that you've been making your monthly payments on time. Usually 3 trade lines are what are most banks looking for. Mm-hmm. I've come across a lot of people that have paid cash in the past before, so they don't really have the credit history. Right. And we can do some things for them, but usually the rates are much higher and restrictions apply, so. Okay. So even if you have small credit cards, as you use them, you pay them off just to start building that credit history.
So let's just say I'm Mr. Moneybags over here. I have millions and millions of dollars where I have like a lot of money where I can buy a house. Uh-huh. Never had a credit card in my life. Don't have any credit history. How would I go about taking out a loan with all this stuff I just said?
Mhm. So several different things what could happen, again, depending on where you're looking to purchase and stuff like that, and what kind of down payment you're looking to do. We can look at what they call non-traditional credit, which would be, for example, your cell phone bill.
Uh-huh.
If you have some utilities under your name, so say PG&E, Comcast, cable, those kind of things. So if we can get from those three creditors a history of at least 2 years of good history, we can create a credit bureau history for you.
Okay.
So then they would be able to score you.
Okay.
Again, it would be you would still only be able to qualify for certain programs. So
Right.
it's, and again, depending on what kind of purchase price you're looking at. If you're looking at a $2 million house, which most homes in the Bay Area are, that would be a little bit difficult as far as with the minimum down payment. You would have to come in with more of a down payment. So, which means would be more than 20% down payment as far as that's concerned. Now, if you're looking to purchase any other place, like in the Central Valley area, Sacramento area, things like that, you know, where the homes cost of living isn't too expensive, then, you know, we have other options as well too for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Do you have any questions, Victor?
I have like a very close friend and like family members that do kind of real estate stuff, but I don't really pay attention to it. But they said that MLS is the top thing you guys could follow, and it's only for you guys. Because I believe random people use Zillow, but Zillow ain't 100% accurate, what I've heard. And I
Yeah.
believe there's another one that's kind of like Zillow, but I forgot its name.
Yeah. So the real estate world, or the realtor world, I should say, deals with the real estate agents, the realtors, and they are the ones that will help locate the properties that one is looking for. They will be able to determine whether the property, for example, if they're selling the property for you, whether it's worth the value that you want to sell it for. You know, the Zillow application, or the Zillow website, will give you an estimate, but yeah, it is most of the time is inaccurate.
Yeah.
Sometimes they either increase the value too much or decrease it too much, you know, so it's not really reliable. I use redfin.com as well to kind of determine what kind of values the properties, either for refinance or purchase, we are looking at. The MLS is kind of the realtor website where they can go in and register the properties and work with other realtors directly. So they have like an internal system. I myself, I'm on the financing side, so I'm a home mortgage loan officer. So they will find your home. I get the financing for you guys, for the clients first, in order to be able to go find the house.
Right.
And it used to be many, many, many years ago where it was kind of reverse. You know, the realtor would say, I've got a client who wants to buy, approve them, you know, because we really want this house.
Right.
And now most of the time, and the right way should be, let's see what they approve for, what they qualify for, the buyers. Here's the approval. Now you can go put an offer and say, yeah, they are approved. You're not going to have to wait for them to see whether they qualify or not. So that's where I help them. That's where I come to play. I'm like, give me this list of conditions, which are standard for any type of purchase or refinance. It's your, 2 most current pay stubs, 2 most recent W-2s, 2 most recent bank statements, tax returns if you're self-employed. So we need to see, you know, any type of write-offs, appreciation, depreciation type of things. Bank statements are for assets to see if there's any reserves needed, where the down payment's coming from. And obviously the pay stubs and the W-2s is for your income.
Cool. Damn, you answered all my questions in one go.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I see how it is.
Ron's actually looking for a place to move.
Yeah. We're trying to find a place to move into.
Okay.
So
Okay.
kind of.
I know we spoke briefly before through Messenger about, a condo. And yeah, I mean, the condos are it's a property, but it's a different animal, as I say, from primary owner occupied, because you have associations involved. You also have they're attached. Most of the condominium complexes are attached.
Right.
So they're like apartments, but you own them as well too. But you basically share the common areas as
Right.
far as. So we can definitely help out. And then depending on the association or the condo complex,
Right.
whether they qualify for, like I was saying, the FHA, the first time home buyers, or if they don't qualify. So that I can definitely research for anyone who's looking for a condominium.
Cool. I might need your help with that.
Okay.
Cool.
I'd be more than happy. To work out numbers and, just get me those conditions.
Cool.
Yes.
Do you have any other questions, B?
Not much on the real estate stuff, but I do see that you train at Crowd Zone, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're actually, you can see the poster in the background. So
yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Crowd Zone is the gym where basically the three of us train at. Myself, Maria, and the Bat. Well, used to be the Bat, but he left due to whatever reason. Yeah, he trains at AKA. Again, whatever reason.
Yeah, I guess you can say I'm one of the originals. I started with Shlomi way back when, and way before the Crop Zone came to play. And I've been, I was their first a female brown belt, and I was on target to get my black belt. Then I had knee surgery. Life happened, everything, and but I'm back again training. So hopefully my black belt will come in the next few months and stuff. So hopefully that happens.
Is this the black belt for Krav Maga or Jiu-Jitsu?
Krav Maga. I'm a blue belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah.
Funny enough is that I'm a blue belt in Krav Maga, but I'm a white belt in BJJ. Even with my wrestling experience, I don't have anything. I was like, come on.
I don't think, but when I was training at Crop Zone, geese wasn't a thing. Are you allowed to wear geese now? Like,
I mean, there was up until Tomer left, yes, but since then, no.
I'm going to miss Tomer.
Yeah. So Tomer was one of my first BJJ, the no-gi, because that's basically what we did for years at the Crop Zone, the no-gi, and that's my favorite. I've tried the gi, but honestly,
different.
It's a whole different thing, and it's
like a condo. It's like totally different animal.
Yes, between a primary owner home, single family home, and
I'm sorry, I had to.
No, it's true. But no, it's something that I was telling Naranjan here that I've been working with the Merced Rotary Club and the Merced County over here and trying to work on my own brand, but to set up women self-defense classes where I'm able to teach women, like in the case of like domestic violence, college students, kids, teens, but to start with the women. So.
Or even living in the city, people that live in the city, I would suggest they need like self-defense classes, especially in
Yeah,
the city.
yeah, definitely. I mean, from the mortgage side as well to the mortgage world, I've been, my husband and I, Louie and I, we've been reaching out as well to like the realtor associations because, you know, a lot of women realtors and even male realtors, they've gone in the past, they're still doing it now, where they go on their own to show a home. And we've seen it in our business where, you know, a lot of the, well, not a lot, but several female realtors have been, you know, attacked, assaulted, killed and stuff. And I know that if they just knew, you know, some key self-defense things, they could definitely, you know, survive. But yeah, it's crazy. It's important. I feel that that all women should, you know, everyone in general should learn some sort of self-defense and stuff. So I'm really for it. Yep.
I mean, I can't speak for Victor here, but I volunteer if you need a wrestler.
You live in
I-
Merced County, or
I'm sorry.
do you live in Sunnyvale, or do you live in Merced County?
In Merced, I've been well, right before the COVID thing, I was actually traveling 2 hours, 3 times a week to the crowd zone.
Yep.
So 2 hours that way and 2 hours back.
I did had a teammate at AKA who lives in Modesto, was doing the same thing, and I always tell him, "Wow, like even I wouldn't be able to. I probably would be late every class if I was like 2 hours away."
Yeah.
And then like I noticed, like, you know, it's all about the journey. Just like,
Yeah.
there's people that go to AK that are from around the world, you know, top place that people train there. I met people from other countries that go there. I met people, they just like go there, stay like 2 weeks there, then they go back to their towns and
Yeah.
stuff. It's I like it, you know.
Yeah. It's the one in San Jose, or
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
should the
remember.
San Jose one or Thailand.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's about the journey and then how motivated, whether you really like doing it and stuff like that. I mean, I would, like I said, I would drive and then do my 2-hour workouts and then come right back home. I'd be getting home at midnight, you know, 1 o'clock in the morning by the time I get to bed, and the next day go back to work, you know, and then so, but it's the Krav Zone has been like a second family from when I first started, you know, and the guys that I met there and stuff, and they're still there. And then new people that I met again, you know, like
Sorry.
yeah, so it's been great. I mean, it has grown quite a bit. You know, there were a lot more women now, whereas when I first started, there was probably like 4 of us, 4 women. And you know, eventually after a few years, we started seeing more women and stuff. But yeah, I got to do a lot of training with the guys. Got beat up, and then I learned how to beat up people. And
Yeah.
So the only guys that are still remaining there is Shlomi and Travis and Mark.
Guy.
Guy.
Guy. Those are the only since Tomer left.
And
Yeah,
Marco's still there too. So.
Yeah. But like from the original group, because there's Dal Gamal, and then we have Guy, we have Travis, and then we had Tomer until recently, and then Shlomi. And and then Victor Melamed, he was one of the kind of the originals there too.
I know him.
Yeah, and then Shaha, of course.
Oh, Shahar, yeah.
Yeah, Shaha, he's a great partner. He was my BJJ partner.
When you say great, I think I have a few bruises somewhere on my body that say otherwise.
Well, you can't provoke him. That you cannot. I love watching when especially when he trained with other guys that they're like, okay, I'm gonna go all in. And you know, he's a pretty passive guy. You know, he's really back. But when you rub it the wrong way, the guy, Shahid is just like, all right, I'm done with you. Boom.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what happened to me once. I asked permission if I can do that, and it's like next thing I knew, I was on the ground with one hand in the air. I was like, "What the hell?"
No, he was great because he actually worked with me, and we worked the different situations, the different techniques and stuff like that. So he, obviously he's 3 times my size and stuff, but he at least let me flow, flow
Times
in.
your size. He's like 4 times the size of me, and I'm like slightly bigger than you. So I don't know what you're talking about.
But no, they were all great partners. Yeah, I just remember Ron Gabriel. I don't know if you ever met him,
I think I
but
met him, yeah.
he was one of the original guys as well too. And of course, he's in Israel now and everything. But
Yeah.
I used to train a lot of BJJ with him, and then Guy as well too. And it's a great place. It's a great place too.
I remember my first class after the trial class. I got paired up with, what's his name? Isaac, who was a green belt at the time, and I was a white belt. No, it gets worse. It gets worse for me. Remember Derek?
Yes.
He was a brown belt. I got paired up with both of them. I was like, I'm going to die here. Again, everything else.
Yeah. Well, my first class, I had just had my son 5 months before. So I just had my second child, 5 months. I actually had gallbladder surgery 3 months before. And I reached out to Shlomi and I said, okay, I don't know if you remember me, but I want to do this. I want to go check it out. So the whole family went. He told me where to go. It was Louis, my daughter, my son in his car seat, and myself. And we sat through the whole hour, the hour. I didn't participate. I wanted to watch with my family as well too. And they had grappling during that time. And I was like, okay. I told my husband, it's like, you come to this class and you're like, oh, nice to meet you. Now let's get personal. Because BJJ, you're like right in there, right?
Yep.
But I was like, all right, Shlomi after the class came and said, so what do you think? And I was like, I'll be here tomorrow. And he's like, oh, but you haven't tried it. I was like, no, that's fine. I saw what I wanted to see. I said, I just have to do it at my own pace. Because like I said, I just had gallbladder surgery, baby, just born, so it was my.
You were, it's safe to assume you were sore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, and he said, yeah, no, it's your journey. It's up to you. You take your own, at your own pace. And I started at my own pace, and soon enough, I got back into shape where, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I'm pretty competitive. So, once I got into shape.
We're going with the word pretty.
So once I got in there, I was like, all right, I can do this. And now I can really, learn how to be aggressive and strong as well too, because CrossFit, Travis in his classes, those were some of my favorites as well too. Getting back into shape through CrossFit and Travis was awesome.
I still remember my first time in that fit class. So at the time, this was like 5 years ago, where I wrestled for most of my life, played football, like the athlete of the year kind of.
Then you played rugby.
And I played rugby too through shot put in high school. I was basically like this really good athlete. Took one class of Travis and sat in my bed for like 3 days thinking, what the hell happened? I can't move.
Yeah, no, I remember that. But you know what? I loved doing those workouts. Right. So my routine at the beginning was always CrossFit, Krav Maga, and then BJJ. So I always did 3 hours. 3 hours every, I get off work. It's like, sorry, I'm done. I'm leaving. you know, so at least 3 hours. I did that probably for about 3 years, like
Yeah.
a 3 hour every day.
And no, we're talking about pre-COVID, not currently.
Yeah, pre-COVID, way back when. Yes. So it's yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome, and you know, I still try and keep up with the CrossFit. I do a lot of the workouts and stuff from CrossFit. So I'm still doing pretty good. Still doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So speaking about martial arts, did you see the last UFC, or are you gonna watch the UFC tonight, later on tonight?
I didn't. Well, I watched some of the highlights. You know, from the last UFC. I haven't watched. I think I like practicing it more than I like watching it, because I
Right.
hate the when they start getting all bloody. You know, and both the women and the men's side and stuff. But I mean, it's pretty intense. My favorite female is Cyborg, as you can see behind me.
I was gonna say, really? I thought your favorite female fighter was Shevchenko, or
And Ron has a crush on her. So
so just a quick thing. I have a huge crush on Valentina Shevchenko. I'm like totally honest. Let me put it this way: if I had a chance to date her, I would like date her so fast. And worst time, I mean, like explain how fast it would be.
Well, Tomer's favorite was Ronda Rousey for a really long time. That was his favorite, you know, and I don't know, it just ever since I came across like the female world of MMA and stuff, Cyborg was one that caught my attention. And I've actually, I don't know if you know, Victor, but I actually been able to train with her a couple of times. I've gotten to go to 2 of her camps. So it's been pretty cool. I've gotten to meet her. I've actually been in the same area with her and stuff and trained. And I got to meet Gabi Garcia. She's like the all-time, you know, BJJ gold and winner and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Mia St. John boxer. She's a former world champion. Sabina Masso. She's an upcoming UFC fighter from Colombia. And several other women and stuff. So it's been really cool
I think
experience.
it's awesome. I think it's awesome to train with pros, because at one point I did train with pros at AK. I trained with Khabib and DC and Kane. Luke Rockhold was in Florida, so I didn't really get to see him much. But it's pretty like intense. And one thing that got my attention was how Khabib worked out.
Yeah.
I never really seen like an athlete in person work so hard like how Khabib did.
Yeah.
Like, I knew when his fight was announced with Conor, I didn't know Conor was going to lose, because Conor is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and Khabib destroys world-class wrestlers, like even like black belt jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's just incredible how he trained because of his Sambo background. I think it's the reason why he became so dominant.
Yeah.
Especially against strikers. He did pretty well against Conor, did pretty well against Justin Gage in his last fight. And I think it's awesome to train with, like I said, it's like awesome to train with UFC champions and stuff.
Yeah.
I do have a friend who was training at AK at one point. He lives in San Diego. He just took a picture with Adesanya. He's down in San Diego.
Nice. Yeah. Alexis Davis. She's also a female UFC fighter, MMA, and she actually went to the Krav Zone, and I got to train with her as well. You know, her ex-husband Flavio Meyer was one of our coaches there for a while, one of our professors, and so she came in there one time, and I got to roll with her, which was really cool. Yeah.
I believe also Krav Zone at one point invited Tara.
Yeah.
Caio Terra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not one time, but multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times. And I never was in one, and I never attended, but I have met him in person a couple times when my coach um was competing at Fight to Win,
Uh-huh.
and Tara was sitting right next to us, and we were all talking to him because like he's also a pretty fun guy to talk to about
Yeah.
MMA stuff.
He's an 11-time world champ.
Yeah,
No,
especially I think it's 12 time.
I thought Tara was like 14.
No, I think it's 12 time. I think it's 12 time.
He's 12 now?
I
Okay.
think so.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
To the internet.
and I've seen like I met him there, and when you go to Fight to Win events, you never know who you're gonna see there. I have friends that took pictures with Nate Diaz over there.
Yeah.
So there's some like professional UFC fighters there, or Bellator, or
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you're right. It's 12.
It's 12 now. Wow. Damn. Wow.
That's pretty intense for a guy that does jujitsu most of his life.
Yeah.
I think he's also very fun to watch. I think in his matches. Like I've seen his matches on Fight to Win. I've seen his highlights on YouTube, and it's like really fun guy to watch. He's also really fun.
Yeah, no, he's a really cool, very humble guy. You know, his gym is there in San Jose as well too, and stuff.
Next to the Shark Tank, next to where the Sharks play.
Yeah, near that area.
Yeah.
So the Krav Zone is affiliated with the Kyotera Association. That's why. Yeah, but yeah, he's a really cool guy. Really cool guy. I've met him a couple times from the training sessions that we've had there. And then when we lived in San Jose, my son actually was training in the kids side at the Kyotera gym and stuff. So yeah, I constantly saw the black belts training there, like, what are you guys doing? They're like all twisted and stuff, but they were, it was pretty cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that's basically how I felt after going up against Tomer the first time.
Yeah, Tomer just dances on top of people, It's just like when you think you have him down here, he's on top of you, and you're like, how did you do that? Yeah.
I'm gonna miss Tomer though. He also helped me a lot, and Krav Zone. I'll say Krav Zone was a very good place for me to learn. That's where I met Naran, and with Naran, technically, you became kind of like bros since day one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, after training, after class, we were talking about what are we gonna do this weekend, or what are you gonna do this weekend, and it's Naran's typical Naran always says, "I'm gonna study." Typically, what's his answer? I'm just gonna study. Got to finish my school. Got to finish your at the time, but it was fun. I miss those days. It was fun just talking outside the gym and like, stuff.
Yeah, that's why I said that the Krav Zone was kind of like my second home, my second family, because it's Friday night and everyone's at the gym. Everybody was at the gym instead of like, I'm getting ready to go party or whatever and stuff. So Friday, Saturday, you have us all there, and it was like a social thing, where we wanted to be there. Again, all pre-COVID, but and we had that like support, that moral support from each other, and and it just, we had a lot of, I think a lot of it was that we had that drive, that commonality, that interest in learning more, which I have learned so much, from since I started doing that. I mean, I started training, 10 years ago, martial arts. I didn't start when I was a kid or anything like that. I was actually a cross country and basketball player, high school and college.
I did soccer, and I played a little bit of football. Then I went to MMA since like 2008, I believe. I was actually training in San Francisco, and the team in San Francisco called Dragon House, and then I went to Krav Zone. then I did AK, and then since COVID happened, can't really train at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially since like I believe Santa Clara County is shutting down gyms, restaurants, I think,
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, they're going back to the whole purple tier and stuff like that. Yeah.
And for me, a lot of people say they train virtually, but I rather just train in person better.
Yeah. It
It's
did
fun being in person.
yeah, unfortunately I I know a lot of people agree just like you right now.
Mhm.
When it comes to martial arts, I mean you can train, practice the techniques and all that stuff
Mhm.
on your own, but it's not like training with a partner. You
Yeah.
know, you have to feel that hit, you have to feel how the movement is done. You can't just pretend all the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
So, like my husband, I use him in a lot of situations, and he knows that he has to tap right away. My
Don't be
favorite
stupid.
move, huh?
I said, don't be stupid and not tap.
Yeah, if you feel something's gonna break or something's gonna
Yeah,
fall in the socket, tap out. You're not gonna get away from that.
yeah, exactly. Now,
Yeah, what?
my favorite move, I don't know if you ever heard of this, Niran, but is the guillotine. You
Nope.
know,
Normal
that
good thing where
Gee, I've
actually
never heard of such a move.
it's like the guillotine, and it, it is, I don't know, it's just I try, and I would go for other moves and all that stuff, but when someone gives you the neck, it's like it's right there, it's like take it right there. And it was always that, they always knew, okay, Maria, no, I and then they would leave the neck exposed, and it's like, all right, got it, you gave it to me.
always good to go like if you're someone's trying to attack your neck, you go like this or
Uh-huh.
trying to cover it so they don't get it. But my
Uh,
favorite, I think, is also Naran's favorite. Well, I have a few favorites: guillotine, Americana, Kimura, Americ. I mean, triangle, arm triangle choke, and
yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
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 My favorites would be the straight choke, the art, like the rear naked choke, leg locks. Leg locks are like by
Knee
far my
bars,
favorite.
knee bars.
Knee bars too. from a
I
guy, from a
I
guy.
gotta train on the leg locks and those knee bars. I never really, I hate
Knee
those.
bars
I hate those.
are so even so sketchy to even learn
Yeah,
to try it on people because
and
I've seen people at AKA train that and they get ACLs like, oh crap, got an ACL right now.
Yep.
yeah, that's coming from a guy who busted his knee so many times he got knee surgery twice. I
Yeah,
like knee
no,
bars.
I mean it's dangerous. It's
Yeah,
dangerous, especially if you're training with someone who is a little too excited, and
Yeah.
not necessarily like working with you. It's like, all right, work on this technique and everything, but they get a little too excited and they're like, oh, it's like, oh shit, all right, I'm out for the next,
6
4 to
months.
6 weeks. Yeah. I had man, when I started, of course, especially doing the 360s, all the bruises, um, the ribs, I had ribs bruised and stuff. I had to go to the doctor to the
Uh,
hospital a couple of
yeah.
times, and so that was interesting. My
Mhm.
husband never went with me because the question was always like, "Are you in a good relationship?
right.
Do you want to tell us anything?" It's like, no, I train martial arts. It was a martial arts injury and this and that. And it's like, and as a woman, as a female, we're asked at the front desk, the nurse, the doctor, the radiologist, and then they ask us all over again. It's like, no, I was injured during training, during martial arts. I'm okay. I'm okay. So yeah, it's working with a good partner is the best thing.
Mhm.
Let them know as well too. I mean, you want to help out the new people to give them some sort of instruction, but at the same time, you have to tell them, hey, don't get too excited. You've got a long journey still to do.
Usually when I was training at AK, my jujitsu coach, who's a former Bellator title contender, Ron Kessler, was training me in jiu-jitsu. And then like sometimes we get new people in.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I'm gonna go wrestle that guy. And then Coach Ron just tells me, no, you're going to more experienced guys because you're gonna wreck that guy. So he tells
Yeah.
me to go at least go against experienced guys because he knows since I have more experience, I'm gonna wreck that guy. But you know, that's the I think I like that a lot because I'm a humble guy too. Usually when I'm there training, I'm never cocky. There's guys when we train that
I'm gonna interrupt you right here and say that is number one bullshit.
well, I got better at honestly at AKA I went hard on. I didn't really hold back. I mostly hold back because in high school I did a takedown. He landed on his arm,
Oh,
broke his arm,
oh,
Oh
and
boy.
and I got kicked off the wrestling team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you know I felt bad too, and then like months later after he recovered, I gave him some like treats and like hang out with him and stuff, and like his his mom probably still hates me, but surgery, he had to get surgery for that arm, and like it felt bad, so like I kind of like give him you know some like good stuff and hang out,
Yeah.
but
I mean, you learn from experience, but that
yeah,
is true. That
and
is true.
And then at AKA, I got some injuries. I broke my hand twice there. I got
Ouch.
some broken. I got my ribs hurt too, and got an LCL. Not an ACL, but it's an LCL, which is kind of like similar, but not as bad, I think.
yeah.
And so those are the top injuries there. And I probably had a concussion once over there. They put you the training there like hardcore, and before they have like a swimming pool too where you kind of do like sit-ups, but you're in the water and someone's grabbing you like by the sides of the pool. You do sit-ups in the water, kind of like military style.
Yeah.
That's what they do over there. That's how they train. That's how they tough you up. And ever since I've done that, I've been a little bit more tough than I have been since my first day at San Francisco's place.
Uh-huh.
And I believe my first actually at my first place where I did martial arts was at a garage.
Right.
And a friend says like, you know, it was judo. That's where I did judo. But then he got his studio. I just don't know where he got it. I forgot probably. And then like I stopped and then like a few years later I went to San Francisco with my dad. He made me train there.
Mhm.
And it's a nice place to train. It's just like commuting there. And it's in the
Yeah,
city.
the traffic.
Yeah, it's in the city, and then I joined Crowd Zone, then I joined AK, and then I'll say probably, you know, I'll say every team I was in were family to me. It's like every place I've been there have helped me so much. Like Naran, he helped me a lot too, and I helped him. I hope, and
Yeah.
and AKA was also a good place because like you know I have like a father figure there, Coach Hobb, and
Shout out to
Coach
Coach
Todd,
Hop.
and and stuff. So like you know, you learn a lot. Like they become family, like you said. They become family.
Yeah.
That's what you join. More than the soccer teams I was in, I still consider MMA people more my family more than the soccer.
Yeah.
But I still talk
Yeah,
to
it's,
MMA people.
yeah, you do. In Modesto, because I lived in Modesto before we moved to Merced, and I was training there at a BJJ where I learned a bit on the gi side, and I was doing I was at the Aries BJJ with Samir Chantre and Kashino,
Yeah.
and they were great too. You know, the group there and stuff. They're very competitive because they are a competition team, gym and stuff. So that they are part of that league where they go and
IBGGF and Jiu Jitsu World League probably.
yeah. Samir and Kashino, they've done the F2 BW, something like that, competitions, and Samir as well too, and they've done the Fight to Win as well. But yeah, they're I learned a lot from that that group as well too,
Nice.
as well. And I still, through the Instagram, the social media and stuff, stay in touch with a couple of them, and it just they're great people as well too. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned how to tape my fingers a lot because of the holding the lapels and the belts and the everything and stuff. It was quite an experience.
Like
But it was
I think also it's very fun to learn with the geese too. When I was learning with the geese, you could literally do the Ezekiel choke, and some of my teammates that did it to me a lot, and I just even though I had a plan to like not avoid it, he still got me.
yeah.
He still got me.
Yeah.
He's a purple belt. He's a purple belt.
So,
Yeah.
Maria, the next test for you, BJJ wise, is grappling against me.
I'm gonna have to go for that neck right away.
I don't know if you can do that. The guillotine to me. Yeah,
I'll find a way.
there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yes, yes.
So since we're still kind of speaking about MMA, is there any predictions for tonight's UFC that you think is going to win tonight?
Boy.
The main card?
No, may the best man and best woman win.
Okay.
I wish the boys
I know Naran's gonna watch it.
Yep, my girlfriend's fighting on the main card at the main event, so I have to.
Nice.
Honestly,
Nice.
I honestly I think the girls' fight should be the main event because it will sell more. I think it will sell more if it was.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Did you guys see the last Bellator fight with Cyborg?
No.
Is that the one who Musasi and Nima fought like last weekend or last
No,
week?
I think it was like 3 weeks to a month ago. The Bellator with Cyborg, and it was the main event. Can't remember the guy's main event who it was now, but you have to pull up the highlights for that one and just watch the way she actually, well, she won, of course, but it was her first submission. All of her other fights have been knockouts.
Okay.
She just like knocked them out. And this was her first submission.
I saw the highlight of that, yeah.
It was her first submission, but damn, and even that her opponent to have gone how far she went with, it was like amazing. They were both pretty tough fighters, but Cyborg's
submission.
Yeah, I mean, Cyborg trains every day like she's gonna fight. She never like relaxes or anything, so that's crazy. That's awesome. She's in tip-top shape. So if you call her tomorrow, she's ready. She doesn't have to, give me 6 months to get back into it. It's like, nope, she's ready. Yeah.
So since you know Cyborg pretty well, at least better than us. Let me put it that way. Obviously, she had a controversial exit out of the UFC and
from Dana White, I think, right?
Yeah. So, do you agree with how that happened, or she said like, or she should, or just? I know you may not be able to comment on this, but what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I know that it like you said, I don't necessarily or can comment, a lot about it, but the fact is that there had already been, some discord there already, the way Dana White treats a lot of the fighters, and, for her to be the main event, the best, pound to pound fighter and stuff. And it just, I don't know, there was always, some controversy there with him, so but Bellator, the
second promotion.
But yeah, they've got the weight class for her as well too, where, they wanted her to fight in UFC at 135. She's gone down to the 135, but, she is pure muscle. At 170, she's pure muscle, and then to have to lose 35 pounds of that.
Back up. You said she's 170, just yoked
Well,
out of her mind?
No, like a pure muscle, like before. I don't know if you've seen her documentary as well too. It's like when there's a documentary on her and how she had to lose that 35 pounds to get to the 135 and stuff. But regardless of what weight she's in, I mean, she's all pure muscle and stuff right now. And now the Bellator site that they have is at 145. She doesn't have to lose that additional 10 pounds, you know?
Right.
So it's crazy, but the UFC is 135. That's where they wanted her to fight in, at 135, if I'm correct.
But I thought she was in the featherweight category. Wasn't like mistaken. And I know Nunes before, or when she was, I know she was the band, or was and still is the bantamweight queen, had to go up a weight class in order to fight Cyborg, and obviously we all know how that ended. So
yeah, I mean, her only losses have been to Nunes, basically, you know. But no, I mean, she, in order to meet the UFC guidelines or standards or weight class, yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. What that does to the body, but you know, it's crazy.
She had to jump, she had to come down to like the 145 category.
Yeah.
That's still a lot of weight to lose in like that much amount of time. And
weight cutting sucks.
Oh yeah.
That hurts me.
More dangerous than the fight, actually.
I don't know if but before Crop Zone started competing in some of the other tournaments and stuff, Ron, Guy, and I, and Russell, the Rooster Bennett, something like that. He's another guy from Crop Zone. We actually participated in a couple of the submission-only tournaments from the Gracies in San Jose.
Nice.
And I had to make sure that I was under 135. So I had to, like, during the training, and the other guys too, we all had to make sure we were you know, eating healthy, we were training, we were, you know, so yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I've never had to cut weight in my life. I mean, even going back to like wrestling days, I was always like, go to the heavyweights, that's all. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm too tired of cutting weight. I don't need to drop a weight class or anything. So I was like, I'll just stick in the heavyweights.
Yeah, no, cutting weight is definitely, it's hard.
It's no fun. No fun either.
No.
A lot of people complain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then obviously a lot of athletes and people are like, damn, I missed it by that much.
Yeah, and then obviously they train so hard, and now they can't, you know, fight, you know, whatever the fight is or the event is and stuff like that. And you know, it's crazy. It's so devastating, especially like even in high school. You know, high school is the time where you know, both you know, guys and girls are stretching. You know, they're getting taller, so they are gonna unfortunately gain some weight in that sense, you know, but now they have to offset it with okay, well, you're 5 inches taller, now you're going to have to lose so much more weight in order to, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I've seen some of the wrestlers, like when I was in high school, and even my daughter's friends that were doing wrestling. It's like, yeah, no, I can't, I would not be able to do that on a regular basis. No. But yeah, that's the martial arts life, I guess.
That's our world.
But,
and Iran, are you gonna compete next year? Either Naga or
I would like to compete in some Nogi BJJ. Actually, hold on. Earlier this year, in grappling industries, I was in the grappling industries tournament in San Jose,
Oh,
and I got third place.
Nice.
Nice, very good.
Yeah, it was my first
Yeah,
tournament, and it was my first
Yeah,
tournament
you
ever.
told me. You actually told me about this one, I think.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it literally, like, I was even in the shower for the first week after winning this medal. Oh, for the first week, I was like, I was in the shower with it. I was like at CrossFit with it. Like, I didn't take it off for like a week.
Probably when you walk, instead of walking a dog, you probably walk with that thing.
Yeah, literally.
That's
Yeah.
funny. That's awesome. That's cool. Very good. Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
And I was actually I was the second shortest guy in the weight. I was in the heavyweights as normal. I was the second shortest guy in the weight class, and I was the lightest guy in the weight class. Weight wise.
Wow.
The second lightest was 60 pounds heavier than me.
Wow.
And the third lightest guy was like 120 pounds heavier than me.
What?
Yeah. This was basically like 250 and up.
Wow.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that the three lightest guys took first, second, and third in the division.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's also, I just don't remember what year it is, but there's also one, Kyle Terra, we were talking to him about him earlier.
Yeah.
There's a video of him where he went in the absolutes.
Oh God.
And
God.
the guy that he was up against, huge, tall, heavyweight basically guy, and Kyle Terra is what, 5'7", 5'8", and he was just all over. The guy standing up, and Kyle's like has himself all wrapped. It's amazing. It's amazing. But yeah, he's competed in the past in the absolutes. It's just amazing. Amazing. Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
I've been kind of thinking about returning at least to do one more match of jiu-jitsu next year once fans are allowed or people are allowed in.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes because like I'm kind of looking forward to compete for AK next year. See how that goes. But in order to do that, I have to be in camp and train. And right now, like gyms are closed. You can't really train. But
Right.
But I just wish there's no such thing as COVID.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, a lot of people that know that exists, unfortunately we all hope, and it's something that it's not a local thing, it's a global thing. And we just have to stay safe and not only stay safe for our safety, but for others as well too, especially if we have loved ones that are in in the in those categories that are it's more dangerous for them,
Right.
And I don't know about you guys, but I know I do. I have my in-laws, I have sisters who have cancer and stuff, and just a bunch of different things, and just the thought of it, of getting that and not being able to breathe, even though you recover, that's just, no, that's pretty scary. I mean, I hate getting sick. Now to get something where it's like 3-4 times worse than that, it's like, no. Yeah, it's not.
I'm gonna pass on that.
I have to get tested whenever I go to Woodside, the house.
Mm-hmm.
My parents live in Woodside. I live in Redwood City,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to since I hang out with France, I have to get tested once regularly before I go see them.
Yeah, and we definitely try and do just like the essential, grocery shopping and stuff, and then if we're meeting up with anyone, we kind of see what kind of activities they've done, and stay separate, things like that. So yeah, we definitely try and follow all the rules. And I mean, we were hoping on my side of the family, I have a huge family, we're hoping to get together for Thanksgiving, but that's not going to happen. It would have been
I think I speak for everyone when I say I'm gonna take the L on that one.
Yeah, I mean, no, when we get together, there's a minimum of 60 people, so
That's
the
all.
whole three
That's
household.
like that's like a tenth of my family.
I know, I know. But you guys have like extended and extended relatives,
I mean,
But
there's a joke in my family it's saying like whenever I get married, at least 3,000 people will show up.
oh yeah.
Those are just the people who you invited.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was in the East Coast, and I was actually in a hotel in New York, and I believe there was an Indian couple getting married. It was like a wedding, and they celebrated like it was like New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Like,
it's a whole week celebration though.
yeah,
that is true. My
It's
parents'
a whole
wedding was
week.
like a week.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole week. So I'm kind of bringing it back to the mortgage world. The company that I work at, the owners are actually Punjabi.
Oh
And
God,
so
I know
they,
where this is going. I know exactly where this is going.
well, not just talking about the weddings and all that stuff. It's they had, again, pre-COVID thing. They would say, okay, we're gonna go to a wedding, and I was like, oh, that's cool. When is it gonna be? Oh, it starts Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I'm like, what? Like,
Yes.
huh? It's like, and then Sunday's the reception. It's like, what? Like, so it's pretty interesting. I've learned a lot of the culture. I've learned a lot of Indian food and stuff. So it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty cool getting to know the family, and then the clients. Oh boy, I got a lot of sins. I got a lot of cars, and the names all sound the same. So yep. But and like I said, going back to the mortgage side here, just again letting everybody know that as far as we do all the products, I can help from fixed rates to adjustables to jumbos to conventionals to veterans, VA loans, everything. So
I know. I think we might have touched on this a little bit, but like, how has COVID changed your job at all?
well, it's a lot of the wholesale lenders, like the retail lenders, had to change, update their policies.
Right.
And it's
Uh,
virtual too.
what's that?
And it's also virtual. Like,
Yeah. So a lot of it has been, where a lot of times we met with the clients in person, now it's been more online, and the phone. I'm sending you the application, I'm sending you these forms, just go ahead and sign them, do everything electronic. So COVID, yeah, has that whole contactless situation. Even the notaries, there are, California, unfortunately, is not approved yet, but a lot of states went to the, virtual closing, e-closing, where they don't have to like sign with the original signatures, but it's approved to be signed electronically, all the notary documents and stuff. But it's still, the housing market is still booming, you can say. It's a seller's market right now. So the value.
My parents just bought another house, and they're probably thinking about moving out to Pebble Beach.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So it's like, the values are still pretty strong.
Right.
And of course, the buyers, unfortunately, a lot of people have been affected with unemployment.
Right.
Some of the essential businesses, especially like the doctors, nurses, and the health world, they've been doing great in the sense as far as income, although they're on the front lines because of COVID. So we do see a lot of in those fields that are able to now purchase homes and things like that.
Nice.
So it's a plus, but it's a negative because again, the whole frontline work. But the lenders did have to, update policies.
Right.
Even like during the fires in California, they had to update those policies as well too, so unfortunately,
Yeah.
Mother Nature.
That caused a lot of other issues too.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So, but
I think we covered everything.
all right.
I don't have any other questions. B, do you have any other questions or things you want to talk about?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I think we're good for now.
All right. Sorry, Maria, you want to say anything? Any last
Sorry,
words?
if you have any friends or family or anybody who's looking to purchase or refinance, have them give me a call. Is it okay to give my number?
I was going to ask you where people can find you if you have any
Okay.
questions. Apparently, someone here is jumping the gun a little bit.
Oh.
Just saying.
Go ahead. I guess I already know all the questions, that.
Yeah. And by the way, to everyone who's watching us on YouTube and listening to us wherever podcasts are sold, this was not planned at all. It just happened.
But you can contact me at phone number. Cell number is the best contact number, and it's 408 area code 355-0511. You can email me, Maria, Maria, at lendingassets.com, LENDINGASSETS.com.
And for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, check the description box for our contact information as well. Might help in case you missed something. But as always, I want to thank Spar Soap. Spar Soap is a sponsor for not only this channel, but my own personal YouTube channels. Spar Soap is a organic soap company. It is made by, believe it or not, one of our instructors. I know Maria can definitely vouch for that. It's like I said, an organic soap company. If you're like us who are part-time warriors in the martial arts, or you like lifting, or even if you're like at the top of your game in the NFL or one of these top performing athletes, keeps you clean, keeps you safe, helps fight against ringworm and a bunch of other things. I personally use it, so yeah, I can definitely vouch for how good it works, and actually, highly recommend it to anyone who is, like I said, any athlete of any kind. Check them out at sparsoap.com. I think that's the website. Or if you're on YouTube, it'll be in the description box down below. And as always, have a good one. See you in the next video. Peace.